There, it's Miss Tiffany from the Butler Area Public Library, and I'm here with another Library 101 video. Library 101 is a series of videos I've created to help teach you a little bit more about our library, about library services, and about information literacy in general. Today, we're going to be talking about the library catalog and how to use it to search for materials. Right now, we are looking at the main screen of the catalog for the Butler County Federated Library System. A few videos ago, I explained that the Butler County Federated Library System shares materials among all of the libraries throughout Butler County. So our catalog is set up to show you what all of the different libraries have to offer. Our catalog actually has two sides to it. This is the main side, but there's also a children's only catalog that allows kids to search the catalog more easily. That is the screen that the computer in the children's department defaults to, so we're going to start by taking a look at that. If you look at this screen on the top left-hand side, you'll see where it says Library Home, E-Media Library, and Kids Catalog. Let's go ahead and click on Kids Catalog. This is the landing screen for the children's side of the catalog. Right now, we are looking at the screen where we can explore by category. Basically, this screen has a bunch of different topical pictures, and the child can click on the picture of the item that they want to learn more about. So let's say we decided that we wanted to learn more about soccer. We would just click on the soccer icon right here, and it's going to show us that there are 80 results for soccer. We can navigate through the results using the blue arrows on each end of the preview here. So at first glance, we can tell whether or not an item is in and available for borrowing or checked out. Let's pick a book and take a look at it. So this book, How to Improve at Soccer, is actually not physically located at the Butler Area Public Library. It belongs to the Mars Library. This preview screen will give us detailed information about the item, including what library it's located at, which is the Mars Area Public Library, what collection it belongs to, which is juvenile nonfiction, the shelf location, which is the Dewey Decimal Number that is used to catalog the item, and the item status. This item is checked in, which means it's available for borrowing. Other statuses that you might see here are not available, checked out, or overdue. There's also some information on the summary of the book. This particular book includes reading levels, both Lexile and AR reading levels, if that's something that you're interested in. Here's an example of what a record looks like when the item is checked out. Notice that when it's in, there is a green circle that says in, and when it's out, there is a red square that says out. So this is another item owned by the Mars Public Library. It's also part of their juvenile nonfiction. And we see here that the status is checked out, due back October 6th, 2020. So if the item is checked out, it will tell us when it's due to return. You can place a hold on an item from another library, whether it's checked in or checked out, and it will be sent here for you to pick up whenever it's available. Here we see an example of a book that is actually owned by the Butler Area Public Library. So this book, Soccer, a Nonfiction Companion to Magic Tree House number 52, Soccer on Sunday, is a book that you could walk into the Butler Area Public Library and find on our shelf right now. It is in our juvenile nonfiction section. Here is the shelf location, and you see the status is checked in. Let's say that you are looking for a particular book series or character, and you wanted to look specifically in chapter books. Down at the bottom on the left-hand side, you'll see where we can switch our view from Explore Categories to Series and Chapter Books. So if we click on that, it's going to bring up more pictures. Some of them might be of a series, some of them might be of a character. So if we wanted to look for Fancy Nancy books, we would just click on the picture of Fancy Nancy. Again, we can quickly tell which books are checked in and available for borrowing because they have the green circle with the word in. The ones that are checked out have the red square with the word out. So we can click on this book, Nancy Makes Her Mark, to find out what library it is in. There is a copy at the Cranberry Library and at the South Butler Library. So we could place a hold on this book and have the first available copy sent to the Butler Area Public Library for us to then lend to someone. There's also a search bar on the children's catalog, and you can type in any kind of search term that you would normally use to search for a book, whether it's the topic, the title, or the author. So we can type in here to search for books on tennis. And when we do that, the search results come up. Again, we can scroll through using the blue arrows and see what books are available regarding tennis. If we were looking for a specific title, we could type that title in here as well. So we just did a search for Super Fudge, and we are now looking at all of the materials with Super Fudge in the title. You can also do a search by author. Let's say we want to look for all the books by Beverly Cleary. So you would type her name in the search bar, and we could see everything that's owned by a library in the Butler County Federated Library System. And just like before, we could click on any of these items to get more information about which library owns it, whether or not it is checked in or checked out, and where we can find it in that library. Now we're going to switch to the other side of the library catalog. If we go back to that main address, it's going to put us into the main part of the library catalog. I first want you to pay attention to these books that you see scrolling in the preview. These are books that have been newly added to the catalog. It's sort of like a preview feature, and you can click on any of these books to get a little bit more information on them. On that main page, there is a search bar, and just like on the children's page, you can use this to search for books either by using a topic keyword, the author's name, or a title, whether it's a full title or a partial title. So let's start by looking for books about chocolate. One of the reasons I prefer this part of the catalog as opposed to the kids catalog is when you do your initial search, it's going to show you the results for the entire county. But in the main portion of the catalog, we have the ability to use filters to narrow down our search results. And the most useful one of those is the location. So right now we are searching all locations, but we can click here to change that. So if we wanted to see just what the Butler Area Public Library has in terms of books about chocolate, we can click this box, click Save, and now it's going to narrow down those results to just what we have available. Now, this is everything we have available in the whole library, not just the children's department. You can do further filtering to narrow down these search results even more. So, for example, if we only wanted children's nonfiction books about chocolate, we could click on collection and filter that down even more by clicking on juvenile nonfiction. So now we're looking at every nonfiction book in the children's department of the Butler Area Public Library about chocolate. We can click on any of the records in this list to get some additional information. So let's take a look at the very first one. This is called the Hershey's Milk Chocolate Fractions Book. If we click on it, it's going to take us to that summary information page where we get all kinds of details. We can see that this has Lexile and AR reading levels listed in it. If we want to look at the status of this book, we click where it says all copies. And we see that the status is checked in on the copy owned by the Butler Area Public Library. It tells us that it is in the juvenile picture book collection, and it tells us where on the shelf we can find that. If we click the back button, we can go back to this filtered list, and we will take a look at the next book listed, Candy Bomber, the story of the Berlin Airlift's chocolate pilot. Again, we get the summary of the book, the Lexile and AR reading levels. If we click on all copies, we see that this is only owned by the Butler Area Public Library, and our copy of it is checked out. According to the status box, it says it's due back on October the 5th, 2020. Now let's do a search by author. Let's say that we want to find every book by Roald Dahl. Now notice, our searching for the books in location is still narrowed down to just Butler. When you're searching, it's considered a one search session, and when you change that location, it stays changed for the entire search session. So we're still just looking at what the Butler Area Public Library has in terms of works by Roald Dahl. Again, we can click on any of these records to open it up and get a little bit more information. Now let's do a book search based on title. We can either use a full title or a partial title. Let's say that we were looking for a book by Dr. Seuss that we knew had the word green eggs in the title, but we couldn't remember the full title. If we type in the words green eggs, it's going to show us books that have the words green eggs in the title, but it also will show us books that might just have the word green in the title, or it might just have the word eggs in the title. We can also search by book title if we know the full name of the book title. We just did a search for the book The Day the Crayons Quit. And we can see that the very first entry for the book is the copy of the book owned by the Butler Area Public Library, and it is checked out. Again, we can take a look at the status and it will tell us it is due back on October the 9th, 2020. Remember, if a book is owned by the Butler Area Public Library and it is checked out, you can place a hold on it. That way, when it gets checked back in, we'll hold it for you. We will call you and let you know that it's available, and you can pick it up here at the Butler Area Public Library. I hope this video has been helpful in terms of learning how to search the catalog. I know it can get a little bit confusing sometimes because you're searching through all of the libraries in the county. That's again why I like to use that main screen so that we can narrow down the location. The children's catalog doesn't give you the capability to do that. If you are searching here in the library and you need assistance, you can always ask me. Or if you are at home or somewhere else on a wireless device or a computer and you need assistance, you can call us here at the library. If you have questions about anything or you would like to suggest future Library 101 video topics, please contact me. My email address is located in the description of this video. Thanks for joining me. Happy reading.